Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. It's also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. On Facebook, we are live also on over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Radio Freed in Nandom, Radio Wa in Wa, Ganga FM in Jirapa, and KTU Radio in Koforidua. That's not all. You can also log on to our digital outlets, including the myjoyonline.com app and Spotify to listen live. In this edition,
we have sequenced about 66 community samples that were negative. The current one is giving us some Omicron in country. I think about 7 of them have been reported within the community.
It's official. The Omicron variant of COVID-19 now spreading within our communities. At least 7 cases have been picked up in Accra alone. But in some communities like Jamestown, residents are kicking against the vaccination.
I'm a body
Meanwhile, Nigeria is planning reciprocal flight bans on 4 countries over Omicron. We have details of that. Also, this afternoon, Education Minister hold before Parliament over controversial one teacher, one laptop policy, which has led to uproar among some teacher unions as the ministry threatens to push for a full-scale parliamentary probe.
How was the company selected? What is the track record of the company? Why were the teachers not informed that monies were going to be advanced to the company which was supposed to supply the laptops?
We hear from the minority on its threat, and also the Ghana Education Service insists the laptops are of high quality, adding government will push through with the distribution.
We don't have any one person who has come out to indicate that there's a problem with his or her laptop. So as far as we are concerned, quality is assured.
Also, focus on the job or quit now. The stern message from President Akufo-Addo to presidential hopefuls will bring you details as we look ahead to the NPP's upcoming National Delegates Conference.
It's not just to win a national chairmanship and then go and then lose the next generation. Otherwise, I won't go in there.
My strategy is to win. We have done it before.
We also have sports.
I feel I am the only one representing my country, and today I've let down everyone. Remorseful Chief Comment says after losing lightweight contest against Vasily Lomachenko. We have details in 20 minutes.
And later in the bulletin, we continue our countdown to Christmas.
Half of the goat that my father likes, the scrotum, we have a way of dressing it and we cook it in a way that when you are eating it,
removing it from your hand, it doesn't have any remedy.
The scent, like, why do you like that scent?
Because it's unique.
Yes, that's how some of you are gearing up for the Christmas season with plans to kill and prepare that goat, which comes with a special aroma. That and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. Please stay for details. Thanks for choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. This afternoon, it is official. The Omicron variant, which is largely driving a 4th wave of the COVID-19 pandemic in other countries, is now spreading within our communities here in Ghana. Last week, health officials detected 34 cases of Omicron among travelers who were arriving at the Kotoka International Airport. Now today, the Ghana Health Service has since introduced new guidelines to prevent further spread, including a no vaccination, no entry policy. But even before that could take off, the latest sequencing of samples collected from within the community shows the Omicron strain is already spreading inland. Listen to Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaje, as he disclosed this on the probe with me last night.
We saw the first group of about 34. That was those at the airport. At the time, we had sequenced about 66 community samples that were negative. Okay. The current one is giving us some Omicron in country. I think about 7 of them have been reported within the community sample, but that is to be expected because we are letting as people enter. They are more likely, we may be having people who are incubating, so we have seen some now. But still, the leading variant is still the Delta among the community.
Okay. So, you've talked about 66 communities. Earlier you said 34, but I was asking if we know how many exactly in terms of Omicron after the sequencing. Was the earlier communication was 34? Has it increased? Do we know how many exactly?
The 34 was for the 116 at the travelers that was done. At that same time, we had done about 66 community samples, which were labs within country, and that's 0 for Omicron. The second batch, and I think about 40 or so, we have seen some Omicron in country.
And you say that's a 7, so in addition to the 34, that's all?
That's what we know.
Okay.
That's what is recorded.
Okay. Well,
so as you go on to do your sequencing, you may find something. The most important thing is that it is in the community, and so that's what the caution for us to be more careful.
He insists that even though the Omicron is spreading inland, it has not overtaken the Delta variant as a dominant strain within the community. He believes an aggressive vaccination drive could avert a possible fourth wave in the country.
Last year, in the whole of November, we saw 168 positives at the airport. This year, as at the end of November, we have reported about 240. And that tells you that we need to be more cautious. Subsequently, we've been doing an average of 20. Yesterday, we saw about 51 positives at the airport. You see, so that tells you that that was a major risk for the country. And so we need to do something to reduce the importation. And some of the data we are seeing that about 75% of all the people who test positive at the airport are unvaccinated. And so if you reduce that number, obviously the number of importation will significantly come down. And so our policies must be more stronger in protecting them whilst we continue to vaccinate.
That's the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumobwaji, speaking on the probe last night. But the country's race to defeating the virus through vaccination may be derailed by vaccine hesitancy. While health authorities hint of imposing a vaccine mandate to force people to take the jabs, there are still a lot more people who insist they will not get vaccinated. Joy99.7's Papani Ashali has been interacting with some of them at Jamestown.
No, really, anyone was so okay, but in my show, I'm lashing. It was any no cover. She be any now want to say, make a penny, but my way come here good. I mean, yeah, I can be anyone like Bay, someone who are good.
So she's been telling me that she's heard about the vaccine, all right, but she's declined going to the hospital to take it because people, relatives close to her, have fallen ill after taking the vaccine.
To much of us and like maybe na me compare about chofan ke ka me bon ame body me wa me do e fit mo wonye me ku me hu shegbe ya ke am aya na me ba gbule ke chofan.
That same day he says that he's heard about the fears. He also has fears.
Mo kan me me do lo ko na lo kra na ba me ko no fo na me bai me ba no mo kan say me do at me kwaje.
Or she feels as a stranger over here, she's trying to do some work before she avails herself to take the vaccine.
So some residents of Jamestown, they're interacting with my colleague Michael Papani Ashali. We'll stay a while longer on this, and the head of our health desk, Fred Smith, joins me in studio because we are learning that Nigeria is planning on reciprocal flight bans on 4 countries over Omicron. We know already that President Akufo-Addo has also been raising concerns about why some African countries are, have been banned by some countries as a result of Omicron. Fred, let's focus on Nigeria this afternoon. And which countries are they intending to ban?
Well, Nigeria wants to ban the United Kingdom, Canada, Saudi Arabia, and Argentina. And they are all on the red list of countries of this country. And they deem them a high-risk country because they've also recorded strains of the COVID-19, the Omicron strain. But you know that Nigeria is part of a number of African countries that were placed on the red list of the United Kingdom. Then, quickly, a number of other countries, especially in Europe, followed suit, imposing those bans. Now, you've heard President Akufo-Addo condemn this, who is actually the chairman of ECOWAS. You've heard the AU chairman, President Ramaphosa, also condemn this. And now we're hearing the United Kingdom's High Commissioner to Nigeria's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom also calling this a travel apartheid.
Well, and I'm sure you've been checking on Cyril Ramaphosa also, following his positive COVID test, and we'll be following that closely. But we've been hearing from Nigeria's aviation minister.
Who put Nigeria on a ban list, no visa, no travel, etc. So also Canada. So today there was a meeting which I participated in, Zoom meeting from the COVID-19 task force. Just for your information also, we've given our input as aviation that is not acceptable by us, and we recommend that those countries, Canada, UK, Saudi Arabia, and Argentina, be also put on red list, just like similar they did to us. And if they don't allow our citizens to go into their country, so who are they coming as airline to pick out of our country? So they might as well stop coming. So I'm very sure in the next 3 days, between now and Monday, or perhaps Tuesday maximum, all those countries will be put on red list from the PSC, from the task force of COVID-19. And once they are put on red list, which means they are banned, then of course the airline would also be banned.
That's Nigeria's Minister of Aviation, Hadi Siriki, there. Meanwhile, Chairman of the ECOWAS Commission, President Akufo-Addo, says African leaders must rapidly move into the domestic production of vaccines for the protection of its citizens.
The new variant Omicron has already been found in 3 member states and has led to unfortunate impositions of travel bans by some countries, which are unjustified and unacceptable. Whilst we remain grateful for the support from friends of the community, we must continue to pursue national and regional efforts to fight COVID-19 and move rapidly into the domestic production of vaccines for the protection of our citizens.
President Akufo-Addo, then let me take you to Parliament now, where Education Minister Dr. Yao Osei-Educhum has been hauled before the House over government's controversial one teacher, one laptop policy, which has triggered division and agitation amongst teacher unions. Deputy ranking on the Education Committee, Dr. Clement Apak, who has filed a question for the minister to answer, alleges the selection process in the award of the contract is fraught with corruption. He argues the company selected in the procurement and distribution of these laptops has no track record and was only registered this year. He has likened the laptops to a high-end techno phone, insisting they are not fit for purpose.
And so once the beneficiaries have an issue with the benefit, that presupposes that there is a problem. Because ideally, this is supposed to help them. But the way and manner in which it was done, and they've talked about issues of transparency, the fact that they were not informed with regards to the
but we are told that the leadership of the union made this arrangement with government in the provision of the one laptops to every teacher.
Yeah, but why do you make arrangements for your members without their full consent? Because the process seems to be a bit murky, not transparent. That is why we are where we are, and that is why some of them have gone to court. Some of them have petitioned the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice. Some of them have come to me personally. It is one of the reasons why I filed the question, so that we hear, how was the company selected? What is the track record of the company? Why were the teachers not informed that monies were going to be advanced to the company which was supposed to supply the laptops?
Well, Dr. Apak says the minority will push for a full-scale parliamentary probe.
You have reason to believe that there has to be a probe. So I am not saying it. I don't have any reason to question the integrity of the leadership of the teacher unions. I don't have any reason to doubt the commitment of government. But when you have these factors hanging, this deal smells fishy.
That's Dr. Clement Apak, the Director General of the Ghana Education Service. Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwa says the laptops are of good quality, assuring government will push through with the distribution.
The institution, the KA Technology, has given 2-year warranty. We have distributed the laptops and teachers have started using them since about a month or 2 ago. As we speak now, we don't have any one person who has come out or who has called to indicate that there's a problem with his or her laptop. So as far as we are concerned, quality is assured. And again, the fact that you have the opportunity to bring it back within 2 years is also something that is a plus for many of the brands that we know. Sometimes it's 6 months, sometimes it's 1 year. You know, you don't go beyond 2 years and beyond 1 year. So we think that it's a good deal. Again, fortunately for them, you not buy it in a store where you may go into the store and then the next moment the salesperson says, well, when you came here, it wasn't me, or now the shop has been closed.
That's the Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwa. I'll take you live to Parliament now, where my colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson joins us on the line. We know that the various committees are working on the appropriations, but the minority are unrelenting in its quest for the dismissal of its motion. They want a reversal of that. We know that their motion of rescission on the approval of the 2022 budget was dismissed by the Speaker, and that has taken center stage today. Parker, walk us through proceedings so far.
However, the minority says the fight is not over, and the meeting we made reference to just ended a while ago. Now, they disagree strongly with the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Oster-Owusu, who rejected the motion by the minority leader. Now, if you read carefully the communication to the minority leader from Joseph Oster-Owusu, the second paragraph says that the Honourable First Deputy Speaker, pursuant to Order 13.2 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, has directed that I inform you that the motion is not admitted. That is where the minority has a problem, because they say that Order 13.2 does not speak to the issue at hand. If you look at the Standing Orders, Order 13.2 only talks about when the Speaker is not there, the First Deputy Speaker can act on behalf of the Speaker. So they are writing officially to the First Deputy Speaker to demand reasons for rejecting the motion filed by the minority leader. And so in just about 15 to 20 minutes, we'll get an official communication from the minority responding officially to the First Deputy Speaker of Parliament. So they tell me that the fight is not over. They will use every legitimate means to ensure that the right thing is done.
And I'm sure you've been finding out from the minority, because we're expecting the Speaker, Alban Bagbing's return tomorrow, 14th of December. Is that still happening?
Yes, per my understanding, that is still happening. They are expecting the Speaker himself, Alban Bagbing, to be in the chair on Thursday upon his return from Dubai. And so for them, they are setting in their minds that when he returns, they'll put the issue before him to get a better declaration or a better ruling on the matter at hand.
Okay, that's a parliamentary correspondent, Parker Wilson, there following proceedings for us. We'll stay a while longer on politics and focus on the job or quit now. That's the stern message from President Akufo-Addo to presidential hopefuls within his government. Joy News is learning the president issued that warning at a cabinet meeting last week as the governing NPP prepares to hold a national delegates conference in Kumasi this weekend. Although party officials have banned campaigning ahead of the opening of nominations, some hopefuls continue to do so. So what is the situation on the ground? Nanaya Ojima joins us on the line with more on this. Nanaya Ojima, bring us up to speed, especially on preparations for the upcoming conference. Okay, it doesn't look like we have Nanaya Ojima just yet, but he's been interacting with some NPP officials on this.
I think when the code of conduct came, most of billboards had been flight already, which we were thinking it will come down due to this code of conduct. But on Sunday at the Kessie, something happened, which we, the supporters of Alan, we've taken the whole thing as a trap or a deliberate something or a hypocrisy something from the side of some leaders. Because we realized that Alan came in peacefully with his supporters just chanting some songs without any display of any card or banner or whatsoever. But later, we also realized that Baumia came in with Wuntumi, the national NPP chairman of Ashanti region, and his supporters displaying banners and T-shirts and other stuff. But if you are taking this code of conduct into consideration, we are thinking such things shouldn't have happened at all.
Well, former Director General of the State's Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, who is currently campaigning for the national chairmanship position, is upbeat about his chances. Well, we'll hear from Stephen Asamoah Boateng, but the delegates will be deliberating on key proposed constitutional amendments at the conference. Let's get into some of the proposals, and presidential correspondent Elton Brobe joins me in studio for a chat on that. But Elton, just before that, let's go into the president's stern warning to members of his government who are hoping or having presidential ambitions, among others. What exactly do we know?
So what we are picking is that at last Friday's cabinet meeting, the president was not happy with some of his appointees who are peaking ahead of time, and we are told that he reminded the aspirants in his government that not even
The 17 MPP candidates who contested for the 2008 presidential slot, including 13 who were in the government in 2005, were seen to be actively campaigning within the first year of the second John Agyekum Kufuor administration. He criticized the premature move of the few hopefuls in his government. The president effectively described as selfish and irresponsible for aspirants who allow their ambition to get in the way of their ministerial job within the first year of a sitting president's second term in office. And he warned that if you want to succeed him, then you need to step down. And it comes in the wake of the steering committee of the MPP meeting that also deliberated on this matter. Now, before the ministers walked out of that cabinet meeting, the Riot Act, I don't know whether you are aware of the Riot Act, outlined what is expected of every minister in the Kufuor administration, was read to the ministers at the meeting by the secretary to the president, Asante Bediatu, and that tells you your duties and what you are to do and what you are not supposed to do. So the president said, if you have heard this, you either step out or stay in and help me finish my term.
Okay, well, but let's talk about the conference itself ahead this weekend. What are some of the issues, the proposals that will be discussed or looked at by the delegates?
So what we have picked is that the Afenyomakin Committee, and this committee has perhaps the most important issue before them. Now, the party, the proposal is that the party should elect a flag bearer 2 years before the expiration of the term of the sitting president. The party's constitution as of now says that in the event that the party is in opposition, they should elect a flag bearer 2 years before the general elections. When the party is in power, they should do so a year before the general election. Now, the proposal before the Afenyomakin Committee is asking that they do it 2 years before the expiration of President Kufuor's term, and that should be 2023. That is a proposal before the party. And also, they should allow every card-bearing member of the party to vote in the National Delegates Congress, which will elect the flag bearer. Now, this weekend, this Saturday, the party conference will take a decision on these matters going forward.
Okay, we can hear from Stephen Asamoah-Boateng.
My plans is basically simple. You need to understand what does it take to win the 2024. It's not just to win a national chairmanship and then go and then lose the general election. Otherwise, I won't go in there. I am in there to win the election of 2024 for the MPP. And so my basic principle is that, look, get the party grassroots to work together and back the government of the day, which is our own government, the MPP government. We put it there. We fought for it. But there is a little disconnect. And I've seen them disconnect. I'm a local government minister. I have an information minister. I hear the complaints. And the complaints are simple, that we are not listening to them. We are not picking their calls. The employment opportunities are not available. Although we have the covered excuse, which has become like without the cover, it would have been better.
Stephen Asamoah-Boateng there said MPP National Chairman. Hopeful. This is the Midday News. We're on Joy 99.7 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Radio Free in Nandom, Radio Y in Wa, Ganga FM in Jirapa, and KTU Radio in Koforidua. Also, our digital outlets include myjoyonline.com app and Spotify. And we've been talking about the Omicron variant of COVID-19 now spreading within our communities. At least 6 or 7 cases have been picked up in the community, and we've been talking about residents kicking against vaccination. When we return from the break, we have sports, and then our countdown to Christmas continues.
Half of the goat that my father likes the scrotum, we have a way of dressing it, and we cook it in a way that when you are eating it,
removing it from your hand, it doesn't have any remedy.
The scent, like, why do you like that scent?
Because it's unique.
It's Hollandia yogurt. Hollandia yogurt.
Enjoy a nourishing boost of vitality with Hollandia yogurt. Available in strawberry and plain sweetened, fortified with vitamins A, B2, B12, and a source of calcium. This advert is FDA approved.
Many thanks for your company here on the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM. Muftau is here with the latest from the world of sports, and we have news just coming in from UEFA.
Yeah, it says that Atletico Madrid are demanding an explanation of how Manchester United's ball was not picked in the draw for the round of 16. They are demanding that they should do the draw all over again. And as of now, reports say that UEFA will be making a decision on this within the next 1 hour. That is what is coming in from UEFA. But now let's talk some boxing now, where Ghana's Richard Comey is telling Ghanaians that he's sorry for losing the fight against Vasily Lomachenko over the weekend.
Well, you know, I fight for my country, I fight for my people,
You know, I let them down, but I believe I'm going to come back stronger. I think the run I dropped down, like I just took my eye off him a second and then boom. You know what I mean? I just took my eyes off him and then that's it. You know what I mean? I could have stayed focused all along and it is what it is. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter and I did what I had to do and I'm proud of my people. I fought for them and I love them so much and you know what I mean? It's just hard for me to take it because you know what I mean? I feel I'm the only one representing them now. You know what I mean? So. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I thank God I'm good. I'm not here. Nothing happens to me, so glory be to God.
It is what it is. That is Ricky Comey.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Thank you very much, Muftau. Now, a commemorative gold coin has been launched in the name of the Asantehene Otumfuo Seitu II for his peace-building endeavors, including the decades-long Dagbon crisis and election mediations. The 24-karat gold coin, according to government, is an initiative to also promote value addition to Ghana's gold minerals locally. Prince Appiah was at that special event. He reports.
The commemorative gold coin was meant to celebrate the Asantehene as a pillar of peace in the country. Governor of Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, explained the essence of the coin.
The gold coins will be of no monetary value. By that we mean it would not be a medium of exchange and not exactly a legal tender. As a result, the commemorative coin is not expected to display any face value to avoid the risk of being confused with legal tender in circulation.
Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia acknowledged Asantehene's contribution to Ghana's peace.
The commemorative gold coin is basically signifying and is a fitting tribute of his stature as a pillar of peace in Ghana. We saw what he did in 2016 when this country was on the brink as far as the election was concerned.
Here is Asantehene Otumfuo Seitu II.
It is my hope that the success of the commemorative gold coin we launched tonight will convince the nation that there's room for more innovative ways to help us to maximize the basis of our nation's wealth. Asanteman will play its part in this exercise and will encourage other traditional leaders to harness the creative talents at their disposal to make it a worthy global effort.
Asantehene Otumfuo Seitu II, ending Prince Appiah's report. Congratulations once again. Now, there's always that special meal that you would love to eat during special events and occasions. One of them comes with a special aroma. I'm talking about the smelly goat. They call it what? The apapon. How do you enjoy that special delicacy and how best do you get your hands cleaned off the aroma after? I don't want it off. Here are some thoughts from callers on the Super Morning Show.
On the third day of Christmas.
During Christmas time, my father will call us around dawn to slaughter. We will hold the leg. These are not strong enough, and they are slaughtering the goat. The goat can side kick you, and when we go and fall, you might forget to eat the goat again. When everything is done, then my mom will stay awake and prepare dishes out of this apapon. Few out of it, light soup, the granite soup, and then the palm nut soup. Part of the goat that my father likes is the scrotum. We have a way of dressing it, and we cook it in a way that when you are eating it,
This apo thing, removing it from your hand, it goes naturally. It doesn't have any remedy.
After how many days?
Oh, that is about 3 or 4 days, a maximum 5 days.
My question is, why would somebody even want to remove the scent in the first place? I mean, if it could be on my hands for the next 7 days, why would I want to remove it?
Like, why do you like that scent?
because there's no spice on it that can give you that aroma. It's unique. Even when you are preparing it on fire, the aroma itself, it can do a lot.
On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
It is definitely a scent that will make you full all the time. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. On my joyonline.com, stories making the headlines. Focus on your job or quit and pursue your presidential ambition. President Akufo-Addo to aspirants. Ken Oforiatta took over 4 years to pay back a 5 million CD loan. Kofi Amoabeng, that and more on my joyonline.com. This God is a title for Living Word today with Pastor Mensa Otabil. I am Emefa Apau. Thanks so much for your company. Have a good afternoon.
Get ready to join all music lovers for a night of awesomeness. Freedom Family Entertainment and Lodgy Entertainment presents an intimate night with the maestro, Mr. Music Man called Joy99.7FM. It's the Lovers Celebration, celebrating 30 years of Kojo Entry's 24th Night Festival. Yes, a night of musical wizardry and showbiz excellence from the King of Love Songs. December 24th, 2021 at the Icon Event Center opposite Living Room East Legon. It's the Lovers Celebration with Kojo Entry.